So, ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 crypto bear market is going to make so many millionaires, it's not even funny. Now, just a heads up, the way the market's going right now, we could go bear, we could go bullish. You know, it's a funny time in the markets. And I'll touch on some of the more technicals in just a second. By the way, little spoiler alert, I don't actually believe we are bear. So you can also replace the title of this video if I am right and we don't actually go bear in 2022 with whatever the 2023 bear market will make millionaires. But I do want to prelude this video by saying, although yes, I may have, $8 to $12 million in my crypto portfolio.
Impressive. Very nice.
Depending on the market, it hurts my soul to think about how much more money I would have had if I had invested the initial principal. Basically, to give you guys a bit of context, right at the beginning of December of 2020, over the space of 14 days, I invested $1 million into crypto, right? Put, I think 50% of that into Bitcoin, 50% into Ethereum. And then basically by like mid-January, I rolled that all into Ethereum and then start looking into altcoins, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, I am going to pull up some of the charts here. I got in around a, $19,000 to $20,000 Bitcoin. And basically that $1 million, the reason by the way, I didn't put it in a day. I know people say dollar cost average, but I was just like, you know what? There's no point in this money sitting here. So I just put it all in. And the only reason I had to spread it out over so many days was because there was a, with my bank, there was a $75,000 a day bank wire limit, or I would have to go to them personally. And I just didn't want the hassle of going to them and trying to explain them that I wanted to wire $1 million into a crypto exchange. As you know, most banks are not very crypto friendly. Anyways, now that was right at the beginning of December. I'm looking at the numbers. If I had invested that money right at the beginning of October, I would literally have double. Okay, I would literally have double the amount of money I have right now. I would not be sitting on $12 million. I'd be sitting on closer to $16 to $24 million. And if I was buying in during the 2019 bearish period, I'd be sitting on 4 times the amount of money I have. Now, I still got in a good time. I wasn't the person who's putting in a ton of money, at a $50,000 Bitcoin. Like I still got in, I'd say really good timing right before the, immense leg up. But the reason I say all this stuff is to paint a picture, which is bear markets, or what people call bear markets. And the way the crypto is going as an asset as a whole, I don't know if we're gonna see these traditional, 4-year bear markets. I personally don't believe in it. And I guess a perfect example of that was the summer of, 2021, after the big May crash. If you're buying in around that period, you are laughing right now. So the reason I say all this stuff is because I want to make it clear that bear markets are really where all the money is going to be made. And although I honestly have pretty strong conviction I'll end off this year at 20 to 30 million just from my crypto portfolio, I really do think that 2022 is going to make 2021 look like a joke. But even beside that, if we do go bear, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing to make sure that the next bull phase that we have in the market, I'm not going to be sitting on 20 or 30 million. I'll be looking at closer to 100 to 150 million. And by the way, I do believe very strongly in Benjamin Cohen and David Dash's whole idea of lengthening cycles. So anyways, in this video, I thought I would keep it pretty punchy. I'm just going to tell you the 2 things that if we do go bear, I'm going to do. And yeah, in a few years, I'm pretty sure if I do these things right and, there's not some black swan event, pretty comfortably be sitting at 9 figures. Number 1, me personally, I will be DCAing $100,000 a month into the market. You can take that number and divide it by 100, even 1,000 if you want. Even if you can just DCA $100 a month into the market. And in just a second, I'm going to show you how much of a big difference that would make. So basically what DCAing is dollar cost averaging. And especially during a bear market, this is the best route to take. So you are gonna shut your eyes off to the state of the market and you are just gonna buy consistently the same amount at different intervals. And you can have, certain triggers in your mind where if the market dips more than, let's say 30% in a week or 25% in a week, then you double what you normally DCA in. And if this sounds boring to you, I wanted to give you some very specific examples and show you if you had dollar cost average in the 2018-2019 market, where would you be sitting right now? So let's say over the space of 2018 and 2019, you decided to invest a grand total of $10,000 into the Binance chain. Let's take a look at what that actually would have yielded for you. Now, if you split your $10,000 into 10 buy orders spaced 1 month apart in 2018 to 2019, you would have been purchasing between the price range of $15 to $8. So this means that you'd be sitting on a $10,000 position of BNB averaged in at a price of $11.75. So when the bull market kicked in and we saw BNB break out from this range to an all-time high of $700 per coin, this means your purchasing during the crypto winter would have returned a 59x on your investments. So this means that if you had dollar cost averaged $10,000 into BNB during that crypto winter, right now, or actually at the top, you would have been sitting on $600,000. So 10K to $600,000. That's if you sold the top. Now, realistically, not everyone sells the top. So right now you'd be sitting on anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000. Now, this is really the power of DCAing into some of these blue chip cryptos, during these crypto winters or these bear markets, whatever you want to describe it as, unless you are a very experienced trader. I strongly recommend that you stay out of any altcoins in the top 50. For me personally, even in the top 20. During a bear market, that's really your time to accumulate. Now, during a bull market, there's some really, really strong opportunities out there. So if we do go bear for the next 3, 6, 9, however many months, a lot of these altcoins, even the ones in the top 20, 30, you'll see losses of 70%, 80%, potentially even 85, 90%. And you will have massive, massive, massive upside if you just dollar cost average. And it doesn't take much work. It doesn't take much thinking, right? It's just very simple. Every week or every month, you just put in the same amount, no matter what the market's doing. And as I said, when the market swings up, you've made an insane amount of money. Let's take a look at another example. One of my favorite projects, Luna. Hey, just a heads up, I give you the latest and greatest information on my Twitter in real time, especially I've been talking a lot about NFTs on there. So go ahead and follow my Twitter, the most up-to-date info. I guarantee you'll probably end up making a little bit of money from it. So ladies and gentlemen, as I said, you don't need to wait for a massive, 2-year bear market, whatever. Like, let's just take a look at, everyone has different opinions, whether it was a bear market or a correction or whatever it was, basically what we went through this summer. So let's take a look at Luna over the May-July dip of 2021. Now, in May 2021, the Luna price dropped from $16 to sub $4. And this was a screaming buy opportunity, especially considering we ranged sideways for about 2.5 months before having the big move up. So let's say you once again have 10K to invest and you split it into 10 buy orders once a week into Luna. Your average buy-in would have been approximately $5.50 for Luna. And as you know, Luna then rallied to all-time highs over the next few months of $100 per coin. So that means that really just from that 3 months bearish period, you would have returned an 18x gain. Obviously, if you sold the top, that is. So the $10,000 you put in from May until July, by December time, less than half a year later, would have turned into $180,000. So once again, I really can't state how important this is. During these winters or these bearish periods, you want to be focusing in. And by the way, that's what I did this summer. I continued to DCA another 500,000 into my portfolio over the space of the summer. And as you can imagine, that yielded some very great returns for me. So really to press the point home for the 100th time, during these bearish periods, focus on DCAing into these blue chip stocks. I would not be looking at anything outside the top 30 unless you are a trader. And then you just sit and you wait. And it's just a very simple, investing during bear markets is a lot easier than investing during bull markets, because during bull markets, you have to look at, projects that I'm a massive fan of, even Luna, right? Luna when it was at $75, I'm like, I think there's a lot more upside here, but it's, a $75 Luna isn't the same as an $8 Luna or a $5 Luna. So once again, just keep it very, very simple during these bear periods. Just DCA into the actual good projects. So the second way that I intend on utilizing the next extended bear period and really setting myself up for that next move into the 9-figure territory, in terms of my personal liquid net worth, is through yield farming and the opportunity that it brings. So I actually went ahead and already released a video on yield farming and all of the potential that it holds, and basically how it's true passive income, especially if you have it in stable coins, and basically, almost risk-free. So you can go ahead and check out that video. I will put it just right there. But yes, yield farming is an epic way of earning money no matter what Bitcoin or the rest of the market is doing. Now, it does carry a different level of risk to say dollar cost average or trading the swings, but it is something that we should all have at least a little exposure to. Now, we all know that passive income is king. And as I said, to me, yield farming, and more importantly, yield farming with stable coins, is the truest form of passive income. So you guys might be wondering exactly how I am going to be structuring my portfolio during the next crypto winter. Now, bear in mind, once you get to a portfolio size of mine where it's roughly around the 8-figure territory, you can't do as many crazy things. It's a game of offense and defense. Whereas like when you have 100,000, for me, it's just mainly all offense. So I'll go ahead and get Tristan to throw up some animations to really make this quite clear. So 50% of my portfolio is going to go into yield farming, and that is true passive income. And that's what I allow myself to live off personally. Okay. That's what I am allowed to spend in my life and just enjoy. Then I have 40% of my portfolio in my DCA hodl, which just means, my portfolio that I look to hold, and I'm just dollar cost averaging into projects. Bear in mind, for me, I have businesses that provide me cash flow, like my agency, which I've been running for 5.5 years. So that gives me $100,000 to $150,000 a month profit to just put into my portfolio. So in my hodl portfolio, I'm actually gonna contribute anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 a month, because bear in mind, my passive yield is the thing that I'm living off of, right? So basically, So, really 80 to 85% of my business profits can just go straight into my investment portfolio. And then I'm going to have a 10% portfolio, which is my active daily swings portfolio. Now that portfolio is managed 80-90% by my full-time crypto researcher. And yeah, the goal of that at 10% of 10 million is take that 1 million. And even during a 1-year bear market, when you're actually trading, you're not investing. And if you're really good, which by the way, 99.99% of traders aren't, and they're going to lose their money. But as you know, I have an incredible crypto researcher that works for me full time. And even during the bearish last 2 months, we've been able to make 20% here. Everyone's trying to look for like 100 or 200x, but when you've got a $1 million active trading portfolio, think about it, just 20% swings every week. That does a lot for you, and that really compounds. So that's the last 10% of my portfolio. Making money in crypto is very easy if you actually stick to your guns and you know your capabilities. Like I, for example, know that I'm not the best trader on earth. I understand market sentiment. Now my crypto researcher, full-time crypto researcher, he's amazing. So that's why I allocate 10% of my portfolio to him. And I think just having a plan and sticking to it is the most important thing when it comes to crypto. Really not FOMOing in based on where the market is and all this stuff. So especially during a crypto winter, DCA is the best method. And I'll give you a very famous example right here. If you had invested $1 a day into Bitcoin for the past 9 years, you would be sitting on over $380,000 worth of Bitcoin just by purchasing $1 a day. That really is less than what most people pay for a cup of coffee every morning. And I know what you're saying, the days of seeing those sort of returns with Bitcoin is over. And you might be right. But the days of seeing those sort of returns in blue chip altcoins is just getting started, trust me. Really the opportunity out there is endless. And one of the goals on this channel is to help you navigate through those murky waters. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna leave a video right here for you to watch if you wanna build on that. I'll catch you guys in the next one.